Hello, 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 and welcome, welcome. Oh my goodness, I did not think I was going to make it on here today. Jeez, Louise, how are you guys? How are you guys? So, my on here would be earlier in the morning, and I I knew I wasn't going to make it early in the morning because I had to take my daughter camp. Her new little camp has a different time. So I wouldn't be able to do that. So I am here. I am here. I can't believe I made it. I bought a new computer. And wait a minute, let me do my happy Monday to ya. Happy Monday to ya. Happy Monday. Jeez, Louise, I was sitting here and I have a new computer, so when I try to get on live, it just not wouldn't let me do my thing. I'm like, what is going on? Not like to be more than 5 minutes behind schedule. So the fact that I'm 15 minutes behind schedule is like gonna annoy me all day. But I'm glad to see you guys in the chat. So we'll greet the people in the chat, and then we're gonna talk about what I'm here to talk about. I want to come on here every Monday, so we'll see if I can keep that going. My schedule is not has not been set yet. Like my schedule is just all over the place because school has not started. So once my daughter gets on a regular schedule, I could get myself on a regular schedule. So actually, I took care of my tech problem probably within 5 minutes or so, and then I got a phone call, and I had to take this phone call. So it's always something going on, right? Which I guess the people who don't go live, good for you, because it can be a lot. You know what I'm saying? All right. So who's in the chat? Who do we have? Let's see. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Mel to the B. How are you, Mel? Mel. Let's see. Mel says, "Good morning, Dee Dee and team. Happy Monday." I do feel like we are a team over here. How about that? Let's see. And then this was me saying I'm having technical difficulties, just in case somebody was sitting up in the chat waiting. Let's see. And then if you're on the mobile chat, we're our friends on the mobile chat. We say welcome to you too. Let's see. We got Vivi. How are you? Looking good in teal. Is that teal? I think that's teal. Cute. Oh, we got Grant. I love the hands. I kind of know you by those hands now. I think that's so cool. Cookie, how are you? Cookie, I don't have my cookie mug, but I have my Chicago. We always will have Chicago. You know what? We're going to do another Dee Dee's meetup. I need to get that going. We haven't started to think about it, but Cookie, think about it. You should be on our planning team. Okay, Vicky, how are you? Good morning, Dee Dee. It's Vicky from sunny Vegas. We love that. All right, so anybody in here, usually I'm on Wednesdays. I probably will become regular on a Monday. I don't know. I told Mel, I said I'm running out of coffee, so so I must be on here kind of frequently because I need to buy some new coffee. I could use a pack of coffee lasts me for a long time usually. Let's see. And then I wanted to ask you guys a question too about something I want to talk about, and I don't know if I should do it on a Wednesday or wait till a Monday. Although a Friday would be good too. Let's see. Okay, who else do we have? I kind of got off my tangent here with Vicky. How are you? Like you're on the beach. You remind me of somewhere I need to be, honey. On the beach, chilling out. Okay, who else do we have? Shawnee, how are you, Shawnee? We got Nora's here. Never fear. Nora's here. Hello. We have, oh, Mrs. G. Oh, your favorite auntie. That's what I need up in here. A favorite auntie. I love that. Jennifer, how are you? She says, first time catching the live, but I'm also at work. LOL. Well, we're not going to tell your boss you're listening in. We love that. Thank you for joining in. Oh, who do we? Oh, Miss Yo Yo. You can't play with my yo yo. Yo yo. Don't try to play me out. Don't try to play me out. Remember that song? Oh, I love that. What a cutie patootie you are. Just love that name. Mel has nicknamed my daughter Lala. And so when I hear like that double name, it always reminds me of Mel to the B. Let's see. Ooh, somebody is saying hi, G Money. Who is G Money? I need to know that person. let's see. Ooh, thank you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. She says, I am look. I hope that's for me. Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you. Your name is Yolanda, aka Miss Yo Yo. Miss Yo Yo, if you're nasty. I love it. I think that's such a cute name. Very cute. Ooh, you said you're listening in and out working. Yes, geez. Thank you for stopping in here, Vivi. Ooh, G Money is Grant. Well, G Money, when are you? I got to get over there and catch G Money so I could drop some money on his super chat. Geez Louise, I have a hard time catching folks live. And I'm not even getting notifications. And I'm getting notifications for people I don't even watch. What is that about? I will say before we get into the topic, I will say, YouTube has been pushing out my videos. I can't believe it. I'm so excited about that. And they had me on a feature. I took a screenshot because who would have thought with the guy who does interviews, he interviews all these people. Doc, I don't know what his name is. He's a nice looking guy. I think he's British. You know that the CEO, the Diary of a CEO. So I'm gonna post that. It's gonna probably post at 1 o'clock. But then they had me featured next to him. I said, "Is this a trick?" Go YouTube. Go YouTube. Okay, so let me get into the topic of it all because I am, even though I'm excited, I'm a little bit frustrated. Unless you talk to me behind the scenes, you'll probably never catch me so frustrated. But I'm a little frustrated because the HRT of it all. So my title, this live stream is called, my insurance. I don't know what I called it. I think I changed the name of it. But my insurance, first of all, let me just say, I am retired. So shout out to the retired folks. So I'm hoping to connect with some retired folks on here when I'm on in the mornings. So if you guys know some retired folks, send them my way. Send them my way. 'Cause we're going to be talking about some retired stuff too. But so anyway, on my Dee Dee's meetup, Mayor Mindy got me this, and I think it's so cool. So I'm drinking water. I'm drinking water and toasting with the coffee. I'm balancing it out. Okay, so I'm retired. So my insurance has changed, and my insurance. I'm a retired teacher, and they used to call teachers insurance like Cadillac insurance, and this Cadillac insurance, it started off being a Cadillac, and then it became a, well, I'm not going to say just in case somebody drives this car. But over time, I think when the Obama healthcare came into effect, all these insurance companies were trying to cover themselves, so they started raising the insurance prices on hardworking folks like middle class teachers. And so we took a hit. I used to go into the doctor's office and I wouldn't even have to pay a copay. Those days were gone. I would go into the doctor and prescriptions were like $3. And, I really wasn't taking a whole lot of things at all ever. But, like if I had an antibiotic, a lot of my stuff was free. And I would say after that, but, I was willing to take it. I wasn't upset about it. I was willing to take the hit because I'm a believer in, you know, God loves a cheerful giver, sharing your wealth, that whole type of situation. So I figure, oh, okay, I have to pay a little bit more for my, insurance, and now have a copay so that people who can afford it can get it. So, I can sleep good at night because, you know, I know that's happening in the background. But it just got out of control. I mean, it got out of control. So that's one of the reasons why people stay working for so long is because of the insurance of it all, especially if you have kids. So what was great about that Obamacare is if you had kids, and you're probably experiencing that now. And I don't know how people vote against that though, because think about it. With that Obamacare, and the other party hasn't been able to figure out how to get rid of that yet, but they're probably thinking about it as we speak. But your kids can stay on your insurance until they're 26. So that gets them all the way to college, and whoever's trying to get a master's degree. And so I say, if you have that opportunity, enjoy it now, because I can see people probably want to bite into that. I think that was one of the great benefits of that health insurance. That we had going on. So, with all that to say, I was wondering, like, what's going to happen with my insurance now that I'm off? Because we hear things. First of all, I heard the retired teachers insurance was super expensive. Well, It's not for me because I'm not married. So if you're married, you take a hit. And why is that? Why are married couples? Because I love the idea of um people being married and it being a benefit. I feel like sometimes, and not for everything, because maybe if you're married, tell me the benefits, financially, legally, of being married outside of this is God's best for us, right? We know God wants you to be married, but be outside of that, what are some other reasons why we should get married? For financial protection, because I think, if you are a retired teacher, you don't really want to have a husband because, what I pay, they triple. It triples if I was married. So what I pay as a single insurer, it triples is if I'm married. And what I pay for my daughter is a little different. But if I had a spouse and a daughter, that family plan is outrageous. So that keeps teachers working because it's like a mortgage, right? If you have a nice mortgage, it's like a nice mortgage to be able to afford insurance, which is crazy. But I will say, now I was paying when my daughter was in, okay, she went to a private daycare, so I will have to put that caveat. But that's sometimes what you have to pay to get some decent health care. I mean, child care. I remember I was paying over $1,300 for my daughter to go to daycare, and they said, oh, when she gets to kindergarten age, so I want to say 4 5, I want to say it was 4, when she turns 4, that's considered pre-K. So they said when she turns 4, it'll go down. Well, so it went from 1,300 to 1,100. Well, that's a mortgage every month I was paying that. I couldn't wait till she went to school, and then she went to a private school that I had to pay a little bit, so it wasn't totally free. So now where she is kind of free. So it's always levels, and I always say it's levels to this. I'm hearing people use that language now. It is. It's levels to things, and it's unfortunate that you got to pay more sometime to get better. So I'm thinking to myself, because I'm paying not as much as everybody thought we would be paying to be retired. I thought, is the quality of my health care going to go down? Well, I'm telling you, so it has benefited me with Manjaro, taking Manjaro, and that's really all I take. Thank God. Thank God. That's all I take. So, and I haven't gotten a prescription for anything else other than my progesterone. I take that as part of my hormone regimen. That has gone down. What I was paying before is much cheaper now. So, shout out to my insurance for that. And then the third thing was my estradiol, which is my hormone regimen, right? I take estradiol for my hot flashes, and I wasn't having extreme hot flashes like the girls say they got to take off their clothes and undo everything. I wasn't having that. I was just getting like hot. And if you have been following me on my live streams, and a lot of you have, and people watching this playback, you will remember that I used to like have a hot flash while I was on here, and I would liken it to like the lights and stuff. But I have noticed since I've been taking the HRT that I don't even have that going on. I don't really get hot as much. So that's a good thing. And then I also had brain fog. And being a teacher, it's just like, gosh, you got to remember stuff. And I could not remember half of what was going on with anything. Like I would just get so flustered. I felt like a mental fog. And part of that is because I wasn't sleeping, which is also a symptom of your hormones being out of whack, right? So all of that has kind of been lining up. So I would say my estradiol has been working. And HRT is hormone replacement therapy. And I really don't want this to become like an educational kind of life, but it can be. If you have questions, it can be. And so, I've been taking my estradiol, minding my business, and Eva Mist here. Bam. Now I will say I have this date because in this box it has 56 sprays. And so to remember when I've sprayed 56 times, I put the date. Now I'm going to tell you there are times when I forget to spray, which is not often. I would say I probably out of since July 3rd, I've probably forgotten maybe 3 or 4 times to spray. And I figure I have leeway with that because estrogen levels, I was at a 20. I don't know the exact number. I'm going to say 22. I could be off, but it was in the 20s. I know that for sure. And now with when I went and recently, and I had my doctor check my levels after taking this Eva Miss for 3 months, going on 4 months. It was at a 292. 292. Now, for me, that's like more than enough, right? That level is more than enough of where I should be. And so I was just like, wow. So I'm curious to know, but guess what? My doctor doesn't like doing that. She wants the menopause doctor to do it. And the menopause doctor, who I had to give the boot, doesn't even believe in doing it. So I'm hoping my gynecologist, which I won't go back to her until next year. We already scheduled it for next year. So, I don't know if she'll do it. So I may have to like trot on in to, a lab near me and pay to see, what my levels are. So, so I'm thinking I'm living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden. Now, um, I do want to say, this is not medical advice. This is just what I'm doing. So I don't know if Mel, if you have time to put that disclaimer in here, I could definitely put it up because I don't want people to say, she told me to do this, or I saw this lady and she told me to do this and it made my hair fall out. I'm just using that as an example. That's probably not going to happen, but you know what I'm saying? So I just kind of have to be careful because when I decided to come on YouTube, I was reading all the kind of technical things, and I'm telling you, when people put out false information and have people thinking claims that aren't true, that could get you in big trouble, and I don't ever want to be in big trouble. so, so I just kind of have to be careful with that. Okay, all right. So here we go. All right. Okay. So anyway. So I put that up. I should probably keep that up. So you guys, just so you know, and I'm going to add that to the description of this video for people who go back and replay because I don't want people to be thinking I'm telling you to go get on any kind of regimen because I am not. So, and I just wondered to myself, I'm taking this, I'm living my life like it's golden, I'm doing just fine. And then the insurance company comes along and denies it. So I have not renewed. I think the last time I renewed this was under my old insurance. And that's why you probably are asking, or some kind of way it got through the last time. Because I was thinking, my new insurance started June 1st. So how was I able to get this baby in July? Yeah, in the end of June into July if the insurance didn't cover it. So I'm going to tell you, I have my denial letter here and I'm going to tell you what they said. But it's just annoying to me because it's like one more thing I got to do that I should not have to. So my new insurance may have denied me because, and shouldn't say may, they did deny me because it says that I need to try up to 3 preferred drugs. Now, I haven't called them yet because I haven't had the mindset to call. I got to call when I'm like not so irritated with them, which will probably be shortly after this live because you guys put me in a great mood. So it says that I need to try three, not just one, three. I mean, geez Louise, that's like telling me I can't have double mint gum. I gotta try Juicy Fruit. I gotta try Wrigley's. I gotta try all these bubble gum before I can actually take the one that I want to take. Now, what is up with that? So I'm thinking that it has something to do with the price of it all. But actually, and it is because I looked up the price of what Eva Miss would cost without the insurance. I looked up the price. So some alternatives. So let's talk about that. So I looked into this before I even started. And I thought, do I want to take the spray? Do I want to take the patch? Do I want to have the pill? Do I want to do a gel? And I decided not to do the pill or a patch or the gel because, first of all, the patch, I don't want to be reconfiguring fear of it coming off, sweating too much. And I don't really sweat a whole lot. But when I'm working out, I do. So I did, and I just really started going somewhere else. Like at my house, when I was working out, I can maneuver things and, I don't wear a lot of clothes. I might wear a tank top. Well, I don't wear a tank top out, when I'm working out. So, it could rub. So I just didn't want all of that going on. So that's why I went with the patch. I went against the patch, thinking of the patch. And then the pill and the gel, when I was researching, it said that those were could be more likely to cause a blood clot if you've had a history of blood clot, and I don't. But I do sit on these live streams for a couple hours at a time, so I thought, you know, I don't want anything that's going to increase my risk of a blood clot. Now, when they have, you know, it's kind of like how you. I wish they did this for stuff I really like to eat, like the snacks of it all. But you know, I like, you know, what if you were going to get a slice of pizza and it had a little warning on it? This pizza is going to give you diarrhea, high blood pressure, you know, cross eyes, legs that can't move. It's going to make your hair fall out. You know, would you eat the pizza? Probably not. And that's what happens with these medications. They have to tell you every single side effect that you could possibly experience, you know, before you're allowed to take it. So, you know, it's like, geez, Louise. So it came with all these warnings, and this was the one. This Eva Miss spray is the one I landed on because it had the least amount of, you know, side effects that were worrisome for me. So that's why I went with that. But it is more. Now, it's not a whole lot more, but it is more. And when I looked it up without insurance, because I do have what they call a Eva Miss has a manufacturer's card where you get 25, where you pay $25. And it says you could pay $25, you know, as a for your with your what do you call that? Your insurance. But if you, even with my insurance, I think I was paying like 60 something dollars for it. And one time, the last time I got it, it was some kind of snafu. That's right. That's why I have this. It was some kind of snafu, and it was like 80 something dollars. And I didn't think that was too bad. So I still bought it, and I was like, I'll handle it later. And then sure enough, I get this denial letter in the mail. So I wouldn't be paying a lot less, but I do want to call them. I guess $20 is a lot when you're retired. Let me stop saying that. um, so I'm gonna have to call them because I want to know, like, what are the ones that they're recommending me to take, and I really think it has something to do with money. So they said I have to try three different things. So I'm gonna tell you, I looked this up as far as prices and to know what the other stuff is gonna cost. So I know what this is gonna cost because I've gotten it already. So they say on here, now they say I could get it from GoodRx for like $33. I don't know. I don't know about that. But they say the gel is about $42. You get 30 packets of the gel. Um, that $33, you could get the packets of the gel for as low as that. So, you know, compared to 100 and something dollars with the Eva Mist, that is cheaper. You know, they want to save all the money they can. So they're telling me with the discount, if I don't have insurance coverage, I could probably get this Eva Mist spray for about $75. And then they say the patch is about $34. So that's around, let's round it to $40 savings. And then they're telling me if I got the gel, I could get 30 packets for about $42. So they're only saving 40 something dollars. So they're denying me what I want to take because they want to charge less. And I'm saying 30 something dollars, but I guess if you got a million people, that's saving you a lot of money as a company. So they're saying the patch may be my best financial alternative. I don't want to take the patch. And I've explained to you why I do not want to take the patch for me. For me. And so I'm going to tell you, no matter what these ladies on here say, including myself, you got to do your own research and figure out what's best for you. Now, does that say does that mean if you take the patch, you're going to develop blood clots? No. That's not true. You also have to think about your risk and everything else you're doing, right? So I'm a person who doesn't drink and I don't smoke. So having clots is, you know, that is in my favor, right? Because I'm not doing that, especially the smoking. So that would be increased. So if you're a person who smokes, I would definitely look at, you know, which of those three is going to be the best, or four, because they have a pill too. Which of those four is going to be the best for you based on that? Or if you're a heavy drinker, or like, what if you like to have a glass of wine and unwind, you know, look at, you know, think about all that. That's going to play an important role. So it's like, they said I got to go through three things though. So I'm going to call and they're going to clarify, and I'm going to have them tell me the three things, and they're tiered. I told you it's levels to everything. They're tiered. So it says, requirement: I have to take 3 in a class with 3 or more alternatives. two in a class with two alternatives, or one in a class with one alternative. It says your doctor may need to get approval for your plan. Now they're saying if something happened and I already took these things and it didn't work out, my doctor would have to say that. And then so it's almost like they sent me an appeal because they're like, okay, we denied you. Now what are you going to do about it? That's how I feel like they're saying. We denied you. So now what are you going to do? So the first thing on my list to do is just kind of to call and kind of clear that up. So, so HRT is hormone replacement therapy, and that basic HRT means synthetic estrogen, right? So it's synthetic. So it's, I always think of, man-made, which is, and those are the pills, the patches, the gels, um, you know, some of the vaginal things are, but they also do have a BHRT, which is your bioidentical hormones, and these are chemically structured to duplicate what is going on in your body, and so those you would get from a compounding pharmacy, right? And so those are, pretty good. It's I would say, like, it reminds me of my friend who's also has what do you call those? What do you call those they put into your skin? Pellets, the pellets. So those, like, she gets those compounded, they're put under her skin. Those are, it's expensive, right? But she gets those, specifically suited to her. And I could wish I could get her to come on here and talk about it. She might though. I don't know, she might. But so I just want you to know though that bioidentical though doesn't automatically mean that it's compounded, right? And so what I'm going to use is the FDA approved things for me, just for me. And I feel like I have to be kind of extra safe with this 9-year-old I got running around here. But that's just me and my experience. Let's see. Another thing I want to say is that if you're using BHRT as opposed to the synthetic, which is the HRT, it's plant derived. So that's also a benefit, I think, of having that. So there is that. So I'm going to tell you again, if you're looking into getting some kind of HRT, you could go with the patch, the gel, the spray, the peel, certain rings. They have vaginal rings also to help you down there. Now that's one thing, I want to, shout out to Mel to the B, because I didn't really, and I'm still not into it, but I know a lot about it now. But I was never really into the vaginal part of it all because I just thought, I don't need to be into that right now. But there are a lot of things you can do to stay moist and juicy down there as a lady in menopause over 50. There are a lot of options you have. You just don't have to like use what is that stuff people use? Don't they have gels and all that you can use to enhance your moisture? Well, sometimes you don't really need that. So yeah. So sometimes, Mel just texted me about aloe. I'm going to look into that, but I'm going to see what my insurance company says first before I dive into aloe one of the reasons why I didn't go with aloe, what's the other one? Midi. There's another one called Midi, and there's a one that's online. I think they use AI to promote stuff though. But I didn't go with them because they didn't accept my insurance. So now that my insurance is not accepting me, now I can pursue them. But that's why I didn't go with them before, because they didn't accept my insurance. So yeah, Mel, that's why that is. And they don't always accept insurance, and that's okay. And that, I think Midi will tell you like on there which insurances they cover. And I like that because it's like before you even get involved in this is what we cover. I want to say it's Midi. It may be Alloy too. I haven't looked on their site for so long. So another thing I want to talk about is HRT over 50. So I want to say though, before we start talking about that, I want to say, are you guys using any kind of HRT? H to the R to the T? H to the R to the T. I had a couple of people tell me that they thought I looked so good and they wondered if the HRT of it all has helped with how I'm looking. And I don't know. Right now don't have on any kind of makeup, breakup, any of that. I always wear a nice little lip thing on, and I could see like I didn't really get a lot of sleep last night. I was kind of up longer than I should have been. And I don't know that they say that does that little puffiness under your eye. But people were asking me if I thought it was due to the HRT protocol. And actually, I think it's the skincare of it all. Um, I think the skincare has helped, but I even more so than the skincare, what has really helped, and maybe I'll talk about it on a separate live stream, but I think it's really helped is I'm getting facials and I'm getting a certain kind of a facial. And after I leave that facial, I'm telling you, my face looks so good. It really does. I don't know why I dozed off early last night and then I got up to like do the skincare of it all and didn't. I ended up not doing it because, I was like, it's 3 a.m. I'm taking my butt to bed. That would have just really kept me up even longer. So I didn't do anything to my little face last night. So are you guys using HRT? Anybody in here? And if so, what do you use? Are you using the patch, the gel? What do you have going on? Shawnee said, hey Shawnee. Shawnee says she does not use HRT. Okay, very good. And you only need it though is if you're having symptoms. And I'm not going to say that you only need it if you're having symptoms. It's only brought up to you, I think, if you're complaining about hot flashes and the physical things. But I was having more of the mental things going on with me. I was having more of that go on with my needing some support. But it affects things that you don't even see. And so, again, I don't want to get into the education of it all, talking about all that. We'll save that for another live. But I do want to say, you know, if you haven't had an in-body scan or a DEXA scan or a bone density scan, I would go and find out about that because I have a friend, she's on Wegovy, and she just here recently told me she has is it called osteopenia? And she has to have a knee replacement surgery, and she didn't realize her bone density was not good. And you wouldn't know if you don't get a scan. You wouldn't know if you don't get a scan, if you don't get a DEXA scan, if you don't get an in-body scan, if you don't get most insurances, from what I hear, cover a bone density scan. So ask your doctor about that. That's not something that most of them are just going to mention to you. You have to bring it up to them. So yeah. So I've never been one of those people, and I'm gonna blame it on my mom's genes. My mom did not use HRT either. And I'm gonna blame it on her genes. And my dad too, nice looking people. And so I really never had to do a whole lot with skincare. At least I don't think I have. Now, could I do better? Yeah. You always can, but I've just never been a big person. I'm about to move back because I feel like I'm all up on this camera. But yeah, I've never been a person who is big into like skincare and doing all kind of things with the skincare. But I do think once you get older, and look at this, my neck, my back. But I do think as you get older, you kind of have to take care of yourself more. And that HRT is BHRT, HRT. It's helpful with things that you beyond what you can see. And for me, I'm a perfect example of, my brain fog is gone, not totally gone, but it is gone. And when it first started, I always attributed to getting older. But I'm pretty sharp. Like, I was just talking to my inner circle yesterday and I was telling them, you know how these girls are having challenges. Maybe I ought to do a book challenge. I feel like people don't like to read like they used to. And I don't know if people ever like to read, but I see these girls doing like these, exercise challenges, the 75 hard. I just love that for them. That's not something that appeals to me. If you did like a reading book challenge, how much can you learn in 30 days? How much money can save? Those are the challenges that I've always been good at. Being that doing that physical work, it's just never been my thing. And I was telling them, I think my mom's philosophy of doing nothing but just being cute and fabulous always was what I was doing. But my mom was slim and trim. The slim and trim part didn't work for me. So my mom was always slim and trim, and she could just be fabulous and not have to work out, but again, that doesn't mean you're in the best health because she's currently not with us now. So there's that. So I always say, it's pros and cons and levels to everything in life. So there's that. But I think taking care of your skin and looking good, and we have some great examples in here. I'm going with the people who I saw in person that I know look good, right? Because I've seen them. And I've seen people on Zoom and all that, but sometimes you just never know. Is it AI or is it them? Is it a filter or is it them? So I'm even glad people have seen me in real life to know how I really look. So when I'm on here saying you should try this or do that, as far as like the beauty of it all, you guys could be like, well, she probably don't like look like that. Well, I kind of do. I shouldn't say kind of, I do. So, Mel looks great. I think, Mel has had her little skin regimen going on for so long. I saw a Cookie. Cookie looks great. I mean, just, I think having flawless skin with no marks and stuff on there is great. And I was telling Mel, sometimes when I used to get pimples, and I know I used to get the pimples from um, eating sweets, right? Sugary things or fried things, and then they would leave a mark. So that's my one goal. And when I was getting my facial, the guy said to me, like, "Oh my gosh, you have such nice skin." And he said, each time I've been there, he said that. And I said, "You don't have. I'm gonna come back. You don't have to butter me up." And he was like, "No, I'm not kidding you. You have great skin." He said the only thing you probably I could even tell you to work on is your patches. Oh, sorry. My daughter's cousin just called me. I mean, texted me. I'm like, what is she doing? And she's like, I want to say she's 10. Jeez, Louise. Um, well, she texted my daughter, but my daughter doesn't have a phone, so she's texted me. But anyway, so yeah, so that's what I need to work on. Like, what I'm afraid to do is you could get laser treatments to lighten up, some little things you have on your face. Some of these are just like mole, kind of small moles on there. I think they're moles. Even those you could get off, but I'm worried because of my skin tone. It could end up lighter than my skin. Have you ever seen that with people who look like they have like those little, without makeup and stuff, they look like they have like, discolored skin, and it doesn't look bad, but it's not the best look. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I'm afraid to kind of do that. And I thought maybe I'll just do one and test it and see how it goes, which is probably something I should have did years from now. But again, I was just letting my genes carry me through. The genes of it all. I was letting those genes carry me through, and I thought, I'm not doing anything to this situation. So here it's at. And now I'm gonna tell you guys when you get on here, and I don't know, maybe some of you will surprise me and want to come on here and meet me in camera to camera. But when you get on YouTube, and I never thought I'd be on YouTube. I mean, really, honestly, never. It's people who don't even know. A lot of my friends don't even know. I don't even know how many Facebook friends I have. I might have 500 or 600. I don't know. I'm telling you, probably 20 of those people know I'm on YouTube. So that's how I really am over here hydrating, staying hydrated, and minding my business. That's what I do. I'm not a big social media type of lady, but I feel like I need to get out more and be more now that I'm not tied to a job and tied to like representing somebody. I could just represent myself. I think that's so important when you work for somebody. I think you're representing that company, and if you're somebody who doesn't care, I probably don't want to be chilling out with you because if you don't care how you're representing yourself, I like worry about that. I think you have to care, and if you really don't care that much, like become an entrepreneur, and you don't have to worry about what anybody expects but you. That's always that option. But while you're working for a company, I think you have to like put your best self forward because you're not just representing them. Yourself, you're representing the company. So that I always, when I see people, out in these YouTube streets cussing and fussing, I always wonder, like, who do you work for? What kind of job do you have? Because who is doing that representing some company? So I don't know. That's just kind of like my thinking. Yeah. Okay, so who's up in this chat? We got Dr. Tony. I kind of saw Dr. Tony. Okay, let me scroll back down. Okay, so do you guys, nobody really told me about the HRT. I saw Shawnee and I know Mel's on it. Oh, my weight loss twin is up in here. I saw her. Okay, let me scroll back down. So, uh, Miss Yo Yo, Yo Yo. Don't try to play me out. Don't try to play me out. My yo yo. I love that. Let me move over. I'm trying to stay in this vertical view too. Okay. All right, so I'm up on here. Okay, where are you guys at? God does love a good a cheerful giver. I love that. Okay, so Mel says the way things are stacked in Florida, your spouse has to sign off on any financial moves. So, if, for example, if you have funds that are tapped for a niece or a nephew, your spouse, yes, here too. And I always say it's because teaching is a woman's world. Sorry, Grant, or whoever else is listening. For the most part, but men are in those higher levels, and I feel like here. And if I'm wrong, I'm never too good to say I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong about this. I know because this is a predominantly woman-dominated field, and these guys, they wanted men. These men start running for these offices, got in there, and they changed it so that now the moment it used to be 7 years, the guy had to wait to get your pension or your husband. Now it's the day he marries you, he has access to that pension. And in order for you to say, okay, I'm going to give some of this money to my daughter, you know what? No, no, no. He has agreed to it on the amount, how much, and everything. He has to sign off. And I know that's not only in Florida where Mel is, in Ohio where I'm at. I know that's in some other states because I've had some other people when I talked about this before, like, Dee, that happened to me. Now, I'm going to tell you, I have this friend. Should I tell this story? I don't know. But I'm just telling you. Should I tell this story? I have to really let me think about this because this is not my story to tell. But I'm telling you, I know somebody who had to sign away her rights to her pension. She not had to, but she got married, so she did, right? So it did not work out, and she got him to sign it, but he don't know why he was signing. He didn't know what he was signing until he saw he didn't get a thing. So now, honey, her kids had access to it, and I ain't mad at it. Sorry. All my male subscribers, stay with me. Stay with me. So I just think that is so crazy. I'm like, geez, Louise. But yeah, I know if it was women, if it was the opposite, we're so kind and giving and Cancer like with the zodiac sign of it all, caring and kind. We would have let it slide. These men are like, no, no, no. You think you about to leave the men out? So that's what I say. I'm looking for love. I hope God sends me somebody that's equally yoked, but I also hope he sends me somebody that's equally yoked with his own pension. Because I can't afford to give you mine. Jeez, Louise. So just think. And I'm going to tell you, this is a true story. I know a lady, one of my coworkers, she caught her husband. I shouldn't say that. Take that back. I know a lady, and she found her husband. She caught her husband cheating, and she heard him through the baby monitor. So if you got a baby monitor, or if you get a baby monitor, I'm telling you, plant that baby. So she caught him cheating through the baby monitor, and you know what she did? She filed for a divorce. Now, till this day, he is getting part of her pension. Now, I think that is so wrong on so many levels. They did not have a baby that young. I think it was like just an old baby monitor they had sitting around, or they had, I don't know if they had a niece or a nephew. Some baby was over, and they still had it, but she would be hearing him through the monitor. So yeah, so get you a baby monitor. And I would venture to say, if you have to really plant a baby monitor on purpose, maybe you should be married. How about that? Jeez, Louise, how do we get on the baby monitors of it all? Downsizing Diva. Cheryl, how are you? How are you? I mean, I had some stories I could tell you guys. Hey, the real MVP. She says, hope everyone is doing well. MVP, I looked into what I don't know if you're listening, but I looked into what you texted me about, and they do not have that through StreamYard. I would have to go through YouTube and do another something to do that. So I'll talk to you about that, but you just reminded me. Hello, look at you. The beauty of it all. I love a good bob. You make me want my hair in a bob. Vicky says, have your doctor call the insurance company saying that you need it because it benefits you. Yeah, I'm going to probably end up having to do that. But that's the doctor that she didn't even really want to test my estrogen level. So I don't know if she's going to do that. I know she has an assistant. So we'll see. When I had my full-time job, I probably would have been like, oh, $20 for the convenience of it all. But now I need my money. Now I'm on a retirement budget. I'm like so annoyed. I will share this since I know the ladies in this chat can appreciate. I was prescribed Vagifem to help with vaginal health because it was a new script. I had to do a pharmacist show. We love that. Jeez Louise. Okay, Mel says she loves hers. Um, yes. You said, okay, so Shawnee is saying she does not use HRT. Bellflower, how are you? You said, got to keep things healthy down there, Male to the beat. I know that's right. Oh, you use the patch. Okay. How do you like the patch of it all? I have symptoms, but because of blood clots. Okay, very good. So, yeah, and I remember you saying that. And so, yeah, I would not risk that. It's 6 p.m. here, so I have to finish. Oh, where do you live that is 6 p.m.? Jeez, Louise, you probably told me and I probably forgot. Dr. Tony, you said I'm new here. I've been on HRT since November 2025. Ooh, patch, progesterone, and vaginal cream. I'm feeling so much better since I started. I'm on the lowest dose and he has been working. We love it. We love it. Go, Dr. Tony. Let me give you all some confetti. All the people. So, Sweet Bee. I'm going to go down the line. So, first up, we got our Dr. Tony in here. Very good for you. We love that for you. And I love that you said it's been making you feel better because I think that's what people need to hear. Not that just you're just taking it, but that it makes you feel better. Okay, very good. Mail to the bee. She's taking hers. Now, there's nothing wrong if you can't take it. Um, let's give some confetti to Shawnee, who looked into it but couldn't take it. So I love that. I love the investigation of it all. Ooh, HRT has been that girl. I know that's right. Okay, very good. I love it. Love your hair. Love the colors of it all. Let's see. I saw somebody. I saw Shawnee said. I can't find your comment now, Shawnee. Okay. All right. Let me see. Sorry about that, Shawnee. Let me see. If I find your comment, I'm going to give you some confetti because I just love that. Let's see. Oh, here you go. Okay, Shawnee. We love that. So you don't have to be taking it. There is no cool girls because we take HRT club. It's just we want you to feel good over here. Okay, so she said, where do you live at again? Okay, so ooh, your bone density was on par with a health. What? A 35-year-old. Go Cookie. Go Cookie. Go Cookie. We love that. Okay, I skipped my twin, but I'm coming back. I'm circling back. I love a good circle back twin. Hello there. She says, I'm on week two. Week two. Jeez, Louise. Welcome to the HRT. Welcome to the HRT. Are you noticing anything? Another thing I want to say, and I was telling somebody this yesterday too, is it took me 3 to 4 months before I noticed something. And I didn't notice it right away. It's like the food noise of it all. Have you guys watched my latest video on the food noise? Now, I realize that might not be a huge topic, maybe a year from now, when everybody's having this food noise and they don't know what to do, they'll find my video. But the food noise of it all, it reminds me of that, how you don't really know that you need it or miss it until it's gone, right? You know what I'm saying? So I think at first, you just might be, unless you were having like extreme physical things, I don't think if you're having more mental things like me, you're going to notice right away. But anything you take, I say give it 3 to 6 months. I'm going to be, I have a video coming. Yeah, I have so many videos I've recorded and I just can't get them out fast enough. I'm slow on that end. And probably because I got a lot going on with not just my household, but with my dad's household, my daughter, just so much going on. So yeah, my next video, I think I'm going to release, so I talk about everything I'm kind of using, especially for my hair. And I know right now I have in some beautiful extensions in my hair, and from time to time I will wear extensions to thicken my hair up. But I always tell people, you gotta have nice hair to add on to that, right? You can't just have jacked up hair adding extensions in there because it's just not gonna look right. And I know some people with jacked up hair who use extensions. It just never flows. It never looks good. And so keeping your hair, I don't care how short your hair is, because at times, you can have short hair. A lot of these celebrities, they have short hair up under all the hair that they have going on. So you still have to keep that little base core of your hair. You still have to keep that looking healthy and looking good. And so I'm a big advocate of that. I've always been into my hair. Anybody you meet who knows me, they probably their first comment will be something about my hair. Because I've always been known to keep a fly hairdo and keep my hair looking good. Plus, I don't go outside without my hair looking halfway decent. So, like today, I'm not having the best hair day, in my opinion. So I put on a hat, and I like to put on a nice hat. I just never have been one of those ones to go outside looking crazy, because if the news, uh, if the news catch me and something goes down, I want to be on there. Plus, I was raised like that. A lot of what we do, unless you're just making a conscious effort to go against your parents, what they did because you thought it was awful. But a lot of what we do, we get it. It was like instilled in us. So it was always instilled in me to clean up my house, have a nice clean car, make up my bed, and who is this texting me? Why is this making a noise too? Like, oh, okay. Jeez Louise, I had to silence that. But if I will always have been taught that growing up, so that just has stuck with me. And I'm sticking to it. And not for nothing. I gotta represent my mom and make her proud. All right, so here we go. Jules, thank you for the Jules. I said thank you for the Jules. I just love a good Jewel. I don't know what it is about these Jules that just get me going. I love it. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, people are talking to her. So guys, let me ask this group. If we were going on a Dee Dee's meetup, where's a good place to go? And then I got my Sora in here, that's the cruise lady of it all. She said, "Oh, they remove tags from your face. 2 treatments, super easy." Now, I don't think mine are tags, or I think they are like little moles. Do you know what I'm saying? Like little moles. How do you get those off? Now, because I've had a tag removed before, but I think it was on my neck and it was irritating me. So I had that removed. Yeah, and that is super easy. But, yeah, I'm wondering. What type of doctor are you? What type of doctor are you? Dr. Tony. Okay, all right. Good morning. How are you? Welcome to the chat, Gia. I love that. Hello, how are you? Ooh, a girl with glasses on. I want to put mine on, but I don't. They don't always fit with the hat because my hat is so big. Okay, so you're sick. You are not 60. Jeez, Louise, I hope you're still on here. What time was this left? 11:54. What time is it now? So not too far. So you're probably on here. Jeez Louise, you do not look 60. You guys are giving me hope. I'm 60 and I use Uvafem. Is that how you pronounce it? HRT for vaginal atrophy. It's been a great solution for slowing down aging down there. Yeah, and should I get it before I know I'm gonna be like needing it? You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness. Is your name Carlise? I love is it Carlise? Yeah, okay. I don't know how to pronounce it. I love a good name I've never heard of. Being a teacher, it's like almost every name I've heard of before. All right. Wait, let me give you some confetti though. First of all, yay. Okay, she's like, I am not playing. I am slowing down aging down there. I ain't playing with you girls. Okay, you ladies. And then anybody that's new in the chat, let me give you some confetti. And maybe you're not new, but it's my first time seeing you, because I know sometimes people are in that mobile chat and they don't always say something. All right, so thank you for being here. I love that. Let's see. Ooh, a doctorate in accounting. Oh, I love that. Jeez Louise. Are you taking a GLP-1, Dr. Tony? The real MVP, Mel, Cookie, Bell, and Divalicious fam. Nice to see everyone listening in the clouds and learning about the HRT of it all while I work. All right, so MVP, you are in here listening. So I don't know if you can type in here eventually, but I want to know from you guys. Oh, Austria, that's right. Okay. All right, B, my girl, B Skip, how are you? Okay, so I wanted to know, like, where could we go for a Dee Dee's meetup? So the people who don't know, the last Dee Dee's meetup, we went to, and somebody asked me that again. Ask me about that again. Which is my, my name twin Shay. I hope I don't know if she could come in here. She's working, but she wants to go on the next one. And I don't know. People say they could go when things come up, but where should we go on the next Dee Dee's meetup? Our last meetup was Chi-Town, Chicago, and it was a small, nice little group. And it started out being a big group, and then, and I always say, you start off with 25 folks, you end up with 6 to 10, which is so true, which is what we ended up with, which I love though, because it was a great group. It was a great group. And I could pay attention to everybody, and it just was a nice group, but I'm open to a bigger group too. Right. Okay. Okay. So we love the doctorate of it all. Geez, Louise, that is impressive. Um, yes, the pension of it all. Yes. Right. I believe so. I personally don't trust the judges that have to enforce those. Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy. And I hate, honestly, I'm a girl who loves love, and I don't want to have love to boil down to like the finances. But I'm going to tell you, I think when you get to a certain age, which for me, it's over 50, now, I always say I don't want to be an old fool. So if you see me on here being one, stop me. I'm not going to take it personal. And I don't think so. But I don't want to be, think I got to be smarter. And I think, I had this dating coach on, Nadia. Is it Nadia or Nadia? And she said, somebody had asked about people being, real particular. And, I'm always called like too picky and so particular and this, that, and the other. And I think at this stage in my life, I have to be. And I also have like a 9-year-old daughter. And, it's like you just can't bring everyone around your kids in general, but especially around a young girl like that. And now she's like footloose and fancy free. And what I love about kids, and I want to protect that in her, is she doesn't see the bad in people, which is a quality I have too. I really do see the good in people, but when I spot it, I'm like a dog with a bone. After I know you're no good, don't you know no good? No. So, I have taught my daughter. So I see that in her, and not just her. I was a third grade teacher. So I see that in kids. Like they genuinely trust people. Don't we wish we had that back where you could just genuinely trust people and you could take people at their word. And when people say they want the best for you, they mean it. And I think a lot of times we get that misconstrued. So like, for instance, if I say to my, my daughter's godmother, like, yeah, my daughter, she spilled coffee today. She spilled my coffee. I'm so upset. She did this and that. She doesn't take it as like a personal dig, or I wouldn't take that if she told her godmother that, I had on this outfit and she didn't think it was cute on me. I wouldn't be taking it personal, but I think because we know the intention is great. I know she loves me. She knows I love her. So why when we get so much older, somebody can say that same thing to another friend and not mean it in a negative way, just kind of talking, right? And it's all blown out of proportion. Like you were talking about them and you meant the worst for them and this and the other. So you see what I'm saying? I think when you're younger, the intention is so pure. And I, have tried to hold on to that until I just can't. Thinking the best of people. And I'm going to tell you guys the reason why I like to see the best in people, because God created everybody. And if God created us, isn't that the best? Now, I realize as you age, it's things happen. People don't always keep that great intention, or they really only have that great intention for their folks. And I don't really ever want to be like that. I feel like if I can't go somewhere and spread love and joy, I'm just going to stay in my own little space. And I practice that in my real life. And I didn't always feel like this. I hung around some girls that were no nonsense, and they were like fighting people out these, they were fighting people. Now, I wasn't fighting like that, but I was with them. And who you associate with is kind of, who you're known to be around. So there's that. So I don't know why I got off on this tangent, but I'm with Mia, Gia. Hit the like button, everybody. I don't know how I got off on this tangent. Okay, so I was talking about where we were going to meet up at, and I don't know how I got off on this. I love that hat. Oh, thank you. I mean, oh, thank you. You know what? I'm trying to think, where did I get this hat from? I've had this hat for so long. I want to say Macy's. Remember, Macy's used to have a nice hat collection. And I went to Macy's here now not too long ago, and all they had was straw hats. Actually, before the DD's meetup, I went to Macy's, and which was in July, like the like second week in July ish. And yeah, they didn't have hats like these. All the hats now are those straw kind of hats, and I can rock those kind of hats too. But yeah, and I'm a girl who, I did not want to wear a hat. My parents would always say, "You need to put on a hat. You need to put on a hat." And I'm like, And I thought my hair was too cute for a hat. Now, once you get older and you start getting cold, it's like, I'm putting on a hat. The medical system has a problem meeting the needs of women. We are in the medical trials. And yes, isn't that so crazy? We must advocate, and thankfully, there are options for getting hormone panels. Quest, for example. Yes. And then she says, starts at $72, get treatment via MIDI and alloy. And yeah, and I think, Mel, I was saying about that alloy, and when I first went to that site, I'm just curious because, I'm on YouTube trying to see, when I'm talking about things, how I could give people other options. And yeah, my insurance wasn't on those. So I was just like, forget it. Remember when I was having all those issues with my menopause doctor? Ah, jeez Louise. Like, yeah, I'm going to have to save that for when we do our menopause panel. Okay, all right. Let's see. All right, people are saying, "Hell, ooh, come to Vegas." Oh, Vicky, come to Vegas. Are you gonna meet us? We were gonna go to Vegas. That's one of the places we were gonna go, and we ended up not. And I think now some of you, I'm gonna be giving the side eye because I haven't met you yet. But now that core group of ladies that we went on the trip with, I would meet them anywhere, right? Because I've been around them, I kind of know them. But before, we were kind of like Vegas for the first time meeting up. We didn't know if that was a good thing to do, but I think it'll be fun. For Vegas, if you like to gamble, I don't love it, but I will do it. And I don't love it because I don't win enough. I feel like people who love it are winning, or you could just be getting that dopamine thrill, right? Hit, Name twin, how are you? Where should we go on the DD's meetup? We want you there, my friend. There is no way you're going to be 67. Jeez, Louise. Oh my goodness, you look great. Go Vicky, go Vicky, go Vicky. I just love that. I'm so inspired by you ladies that are older than I am. I'm just turned 54, and I'm inspired by you ladies that look so good because it gives me hope for when I get older. And and people, I love the age and aging of it all, but I like everybody else. I want to age and look good and feel good. And I always tell you guys, my grandmother was 92, and she was still concerned about her hair. She would say, "Shay, does my hair look good? Shay, don't forget my lipstick." She still put on lipstick. And honey, when she took a picture, she had that walker, but she would pose, and she was so thin. This is another thing I think is a misconception. And I'm not saying be big, and I'm used to being a bigger girl, so I can make it work. But my grandmother, her nickname was Tiny, and she was so small. And one of the things is she had a hips replacement surgery. And I always thought she ate very well. She lived to be 92, and I thought she ate very well because she didn't eat carbs, right? And I always thought, like, carb is the villain. Now I'm learning it's the type of carbs you eat. My grandmother was a big protein meat eater, and she was big on vegetables. So she was kind of like a natural ketoist without calling herself keto. And she was always so tiny. And I always used to think, like, when you are smaller, like that's going to derail you from having health issues. But you guys know my mom passed early, and if you look at her, you would think she was the healthiest person. So that's why I see when I say to people now who have gotten smaller, I'm saying look at health in other areas because it's not all connected to weight. It's other things that could be going on for you. And my grandmother, you would have never thought she would be having issues with her hip, as small as she was, because we always, the first thing the doctors say is what? Take off that excess weight if you have weight on you. And my friend that's having the knee surgery, she has a lot of weight on her. And I'm sure it helps. I know it helps, but I'm saying it's not the end all be all. So you guys will hear me talking about that, especially because I'm surrounded by so many people with that's in maintenance, like my maintenance girls. And I'm saying, once you take care of your health, if you've gotten to that point where you're in maintenance, wait till I hit maintenance. You guys are gonna be like, dang, I'm gonna be talking about it all, because I have seen people who don't have weight issues have other things going on. So I'm just saying, health is not just losing weight. And once you are at the point where you're don't need to lose any more weight and you're maintaining, I'm saying pick one other area in your life and work on. And I'm just saying that as somebody who has lost people, including, the dad I talk about is my stepdad. I don't even like saying that because, he's my dad. But, my biological dad, to look at him, my dad, you would never know that he had health issues. So I'm saying to you, it's not always about weight. So once you conquer that, now find the next thing. Um, and that's just kind of like how I live my life. If I get something I work on, I go to the next thing and I try to perfect that. Now, if you're somebody who has nothing to work on, good for you. And I would say you probably have that to work on, the fact that you think you have nothing to work on. Seriously, though, that is true. That is true. So it might not be any of those things. It's always something. Hold up, my birthday twin is up in here. Joe, how are you? Oh, my goodness, Joe. We have to catch up. We have to catch up. The last time I saw Joe, we were meeting with one of my friends off YouTube. And we never followed up, Joe, to talk about how that all went. So we got to connect, because I'm curious to know. I was going to have that friend come and talk to my other group. Okay, so yeah, so Joe, I'm so glad to see you. Okay, let's see. Um, Ooh, come to Michigan. Ooh, you can't play with my yo-yo. Yo, yo. Don't try to play me out. Don't try to play me out. Yo, yo. So are you from Michigan, or do you happen to be living there now? I gotta know that. I gotta know that. Oh yes, our girl Joe is up in here. That's right. We love it. Mail to the B. Okay. Okay. So Dr. Tony, thank you for answering. Dr. Tony said, yes, I'm taking Zepbound 12.5. It will be a year. Wow. 82 pounds. Oh my goodness. I prescribed GLP-1 first. Then once my numbers got better, I was prescribed, HRT. The combination has been great. Yes. Go, Tony, Dr. Tony. Go, Dr. Tony. All right, let's give you some confetti. We love that. I just love a great feeling person. I always ask people how they feel. I think that's so important, asking people how they feel, because a lot of times, first of all, people don't really ask people how you feel. They go off how you look. And, I know now to go off how people are feeling and not just looking. And, I think once you really reflect and you ask yourself, how do you feel? That's going to lead you to making some good choices for yourself. So I just love that. All right. Did some parents make you feel uncomfortable? Being a teacher, um, kind of. It just depends. You got the parents. First of all, a lot of parents want the best for their kids, so I know that, right? Sometimes though, it's parents that can come at you a certain way, and you just kind of have to go, wait a minute. And when I was first starting off teaching and not as confident in my teaching skills, even though I think I've been a great teacher, like I've won awards for teaching, I could really do a humble brag on here with my profession. And I just haven't. But, if I start something teaching, I'm going to lead with that, right? Because I think people need to know. And so, but I'm sure it's parents out there who like, we can't stand that, Miss Thomas. Because one thing about it is my expectations are high of myself, of the kids. And I believe all kids can learn. And so I have had some parents, and I hope you're asking me this, but I'm going to talk about it. you know I've had some parents who came at me in just not a nice way, and you listen, and then I come back, and then I try to squash their fears and reassure them. But I've had some people who weren't, just like, didn't like my race, right? And those are the hardest people to deal with. The people who don't like your race, and they kind of I want to say, like, stereotype you into a category. And so for those people, you might say, how do you know? Because I've had some teachers who came up to me and said that they were friends with this particular. I had this one in particular situation where this lady came to me and said, I just want to tell you, you have A, B, and C in your class, and and this is how they feel about black folks, right? And so she started telling me this stuff. So at first I was like, dang, I wish you wouldn't have told me. I'm not going to treat the child different. The daughter was sweet as all get out. But some of the things she would do, the mom and dad do, it kind of put that in context for me. And so I would tell my principal, like, if you know somebody's, and and another way you can know is people's social media too. People are posting things on social media, and and it's like, you see it, and I don't really go look for it, but sometimes people have sent me things, and I'm like, uh, yeah, am I special? Because it's like, if you feel that way about a whole group of folks, what makes me so different? So yeah, so there's that. So I've had those kind of situations. Nothing else. I think this is the great thing about being confident in whatever you're doing. It's like, it's hard to ruffle your feathers. And I think so nothing really in teaching can ruffle my feathers. No parents and stuff can ruffle my feathers. I got to the point where it just could not. And I got to the point where I know how to, like, gather somebody up in the most nicest professional way. I have perfected the art of doing that. And but still keeping my, personality and professionalism. So there's that. And again, I think I lead with intention, good intention. So that's there. And you talk about teaching, you can get me off on a tangent. Okay, so Joe says, well done, Dr. Tony. The difference good health makes to our quality of life. Yes, it really does. It really does. Amen to that, Dee Dee. Let's always look for the best in people. I do, but sometimes it's hard. It is hard, but I think we got to do it. I see the good in people also, but sometimes when I meet someone, I could usually tell yes. So, okay, so let me ask you, Vicky. So, if you meet somebody and you don't really care for them, but they want to be friends with you, they want to be around you, they want to be in your sphere, what do you do? How do you handle that? And it's I kind of am dealing with that now. I'm only going to say, because I know this person is not probably, I don't think she even knows about my Facebook page, but we have a friend in common that I just don't really want to have anything to do with, but she's very good friends with her. And I say to myself, should I become involved? Like, she's always invite me to stuff, to do stuff. Now she knows I got time because I'm retired. And I say to myself, like, do I want to, you know, be involved with that? Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know. Again, it's just, yeah. So I wonder, how do you deal with that? You're enjoying headbands. Okay, very good. Very good. I bet you look cute too. I love a good headband. And Macy's, you worked there when you were young, in your 20s. It's been a minute. Cookie! No wonder I love you. I used to work at Macy's too. And I'm going to tell you, Macy's, when I was getting my master's degree, I started working at Macy's for extra money. And I'm going to tell you, I was on time. I was on top of it. They started trying to overwork me. I got to the point where I felt like I was working harder. Now, mind you, I had a full-time teaching job. I was going to school to get my master's, and I was working at Macy's. So I was doing all three at the same time. And when I was more tired leaving Macy's than I was when I left my full-time job. And I thought, this is not worth it. And they would, they would call me in when people would call off. They would call me and ask me to come early. And, I was like, yeah, I thought, oh, okay, I'm really going here to help pay for my master's degree, da 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 da. And yeah, I was just like, geez, Louise. And I mean, let it be a holiday, a sale. You remember Macy's used to have those awful coupons? I know they still do, but now I think it's a little better. Now you could go to the here. Now I don't know. I live in Ohio, but now you could go to the counter, and if you don't have the coupon, they usually have a coupon sitting there before. It's like you gotta have this coupon. It has to have this code. It has to be that. And so I here they developed from there. But yeah, I remember working at Macy's. I'm like, they drove me out of here. It was inexcusable what you went through. Oh, geez, Louise, it was. Vegas might be nice. A resort somewhere would be nice too. Yes, a good resort. I love a good resort. I'm a fan of headbands and headscarves too. Yes. The one thing I don't like though is bonnets. Like, what do you guys feel about the bonnets of it all? I'm not a bonnet person as far as wearing them out. Now, I got a good bonnet I wear around the house, but that's something I wouldn't wear out. And, you could call me bougie or whatever you want to call me, but yeah, I'm sticking to it. Vegas for the win. Oh, Hawaii. You know what? I'm so afraid to go to Hawaii. I was supposed to go with my daughter's godmother. She's actually like Tony on here, Dr. Tony. She just retired from the IRS. She has a degree. I don't think she has a doctorate, but I know she has a master's plus in something in accounting. She's like, if I have a financial question, but she just knows the inside scoop because she retired from the IRS and she was high up in the IRS. So yeah, so that's my finance lady if I have a question about finances. So when I saw that for Dr. Tony, I was like, yes, you remind me of Maria. It's so funny. I'm telling you, I'm one of those people. I have a friend for every occasion. So if you need a doctor, I got a friend. If you need an author, I got a friend. If you need a judge, I got a friend. If you need a lawyer, I got a friend. And not one of those people who say I have a friend. If you need a councilwoman, I got a friend. My dad's best friend used to be a mayor of a city. So, it's like you just kind of know people. So that's why I always say, like, you never know who you're dealing with on when you run across folks being doing stuff you shouldn't be doing. You just never know who knows who. Okay. Let's see. You said, yes, let's catch up. Yes, I know. It has been so long. So we got to schedule a Zoom, Joe. Um, we'll schedule a Zoom and we will meet up and we will catch up. And I now that I'm retired, the funny thing is I haven't had a chance to like really map out what I'm doing. When I tell you guys I have been busy, it's been endless. It's one thing after another. And when I came back from that Dee Dee's meetup, it was a Monday. On Tuesday, I went to the doctor with my dad. And he had 3 doctor's appointments scheduled before I went. When I came back from that doctor's appointment, he had 4 specialists that he needed to meet with after that. So that's 7 appointments. And then one of those has also led to something else. So when I say I'm busy, I am busy. And he doesn't understand how busy I am because then I'm trying to do things on YouTube. I got that stock club and, I'm reading and looking at stuff and I'm not necessarily posting in that school, but I'm, trying to follow my stocks and stuff. And then I have a group who we used to have a book club around stocks and they want to start meeting back up. So I told them after my daughter's schedule started. So doing that, and I'm gonna see how committed they are to meeting. I think we were meeting every couple weeks, but these are my like college friends, and it's a small group of us. So yeah, so I got that going on. So yeah, it's just a lot going on. Then I got my group of retired teacher friends from 20 years ago. These ladies are in their 70s and 80s, and they look great. I'm supposed to be meeting with them before the end of August, and then I have it was 2 friends that want to have lunch because their school starts this week. My school doesn't start until the following week, and then my daughter's school starts the following week after that. I don't even know the dates. I got to write these dates down. So I got that group of friends I'm meeting with. So it's always so like my social life is kicking up. So I just got a lot going on. Then the weight loss of it all. I've just been, not even on a scale to be honest, because I just been living my life like it's golden, celebrate my birthday, but not going overboard. But it's just, I feel like when you're not tracking and so up close, I feel like I don't know what's going on because I'm not tracking it. And when you're a person who was tracking everything you were doing to like being footloose and fancy free, that's a difference. So that's why I haven't really talked about it because I don't really, I'm one of those people, I don't talk about stuff I don't really know about. You know what I'm saying? I leave that to the people who think they know or the experts. And so this is one of those situations. You know, I can only go off my clothes and how my right now as far as how my clothes are doing. And my clothes are doing it and doing it and doing it well. So there's that. How about that? So yeah, but I need to get back on the schedule and like sit down and like map stuff out. So that's what I'm gonna do. But I always say this is a real life journey for me. And how some people are like when they say, I set a goal and I'm focused and I get it. I'm like that with every single thing in my life. But when it comes to this personal situation of my weight, and I guess I have to look at it like, because I look at it with everything else, like, okay, when I do A, B, and C, that's not just going to benefit me, it's going to benefit all these other people. Well, I got to start thinking about my health like that, and not even my health, because my health markers are great as as far as my blood work and stuff, but I have to start looking at my slimming down and my weight as this is going to affect my daughter long term. Do you know what I'm saying? So if I look at it like that, that's going to be helpful. So I got to sit down and get a plan together. And I'm telling you, if it's been times here where I've scheduled to go to the gym and I got a phone call and I had to not go to the gym and do A, B, and C, and it's stuff I couldn't avoid. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I could be like, oh, I'm gonna go. You know, I got to get over there and do and help. And so I've had a couple of incidences like that. And so it's just things that kind of get your head out of the game, but that's okay. I'm still going. That gym, I'm going to be at that gym for dear life because I'm paying a ton of money to be there. And I have to switch that. I have to figure out what my new plan is because I can't afford to pay for this gym, as much as it is um, for a long time. Like I knew it was only going to be for the summer. So there's that. All right, what are you guys saying? Everybody has something to work on. Yeah, but you'd be surprised to hear people. I'm telling you, some people think they're perfect. They think they have nothing to work on. I never forget. I set goals with my students, and at the beginning of the year, this one girl, and I'm not going to say her name just in case one day she runs across this line. I don't know how, but who knows? And she always would say she was so perfect. She never had anything to work on. And when you told her you could work on A, B, or C, she said, I disagree. I disagree, Miss Thomas. I mean, a third grader. So can you believe that? So somewhere along the lines, she thought she was perfect. And I'm pretty sure her parents probably told her that, which I think that's great to have your child's confidence up like that, but not to a degree where it's like off-putting. And it was off-putting to some other of the other kids. And I'm going to tell you, they might not be aware of it, but I've never met a person that didn't have something to work on. I just yet to meet that person. They might not know it, but I see it. And now you're talking to somebody that's flawed. So it's like I'm a flawed person. So you know what I'm saying? I got things to work on. I know I do. Um, and I mean that in the best possible way, not saying like something's wrong, but you know what I'm saying? I don't mean like how you look, or I don't mean like the little petty incidental things. I'm just saying there are things that we always could be better, right? There are things we always could do to be better. I can start earning and saving. I'm ready to meet you all. Okay, all right, very good. We love that. I mean, Joe, that would be epic, right? Epic. We love it. Of course, we want to meet you, Joe. So yeah, so Joe, we got to have Operation Joe. Anything and because you're so far, that's why I say Operation Joe. So you're so far. So yeah, we got to do it. My name twin brought up Hawaii, and I don't know how I got off on a tangent, but I'm so afraid of, Maria, who I tell you, my friend that's a accounting extraordinaire. Um, she's my daughter's godmother. She's family at this point. I don't know why I call her my friend, but actually she was my mom's friend, and she was BFFs with my mom, and so yeah, so there's that. But we're closer in age. Isn't that funny? My mom always had a way of befriending younger people, and I think it's because she looks so much younger. So anyway, she always goes to Hawaii. She's the travel. I don't know anybody. I have two friends that travel more than any people I know, and it's a toss up between these two. And I think now that she's retired, but my other friend Keisha, shout out to Keisha. I don't know if Keisha's watching. Keisha is retired, and they're the most traveling ladies I've ever met in my life. So Maria is always trying to get me to go to Hawaii. Now she said she was going to take my daughter to Disney Hawaii. Did you guys know that Disney had a Hawaii, or there was a Hawaii Disney? And so she said she was going to take my daughter there when she turned 10. Well, you guys know my daughter is turning 10 soon. So I'm thinking to myself, am I going to that? Because I'm afraid of those little iguanas. Like I'm telling you, I don't want anything crawling around me. I don't even want a fine man crawling around me. Okay? Nobody's crawling around me. I do not like it. So I've never wanted to go to Hawaii because of that. So I think I would probably ruin your trip in Hawaii because I would be like, oh man. And so I'm not trying to go to Jamaica, any of those places. I'm just scared. And you know, my friends and stuff, that whenever they travel and they run into these little iguanas, now not for nothing. One of my Sands lives in Texas, and she was like, Sands, I saw that I'm a Delta, so she said, Sands, I saw this. I opened my drawer. Now she is just as afraid of bugs and all things creepy crawly as me. She's from Colorado. She's, you know, born and raised in Denver, Colorado, but she's moved to Texas. She was first in Houston, Texas, and then she opened up this Smoothie King franchise in Dallas and had like three of those, since sold them, opened up a wine shop. I got an entrepreneur friend too, forgot about her. And so she says, you know, she's like, Sands, it was in my drawer. I'm like, what? I said, oh my God, at her house. So I'm supposed to go visit her in October. And I'm going to tell you, I am scared. Now she sprays it up. She's like, before you come, we're going to spray everything. But I just think I would have you know, just panic. I mean, when I tell you I have a fear, I have a fear. It's a genuine fear. And that's why I don't love outside. I don't love the sun, but I also don't love bugs. Like, so that's one way. So I said, if my food hovered bugs around, I'd be like underweight, in the underweight category around here. Because I couldn't do it. It's just crazy, crazy, crazy. Oh, I'm scared of Hawaii. I am scared of Hawaii. You know, every place I've been, every place I've traveled to is the places I want to go. So now the only thing is, and it's not really on my bucket list, I don't need to get there, but I would love to go to Italy. Other than that, I've been to all my bucket place. And you know, my ideal place I wanted to go was Paris and London. And I went to London first, took a train. You know how they have that song, Train to Paris? I went to London, took the train to Paris, and I went with the guy I was dating at the time, and it was everything you would think it would be. It was great. So I don't really have like anywhere else I really want to go other than I wouldn't mind going to Italy. But it's not a bucket list place. Like if, you know, something happened, I had to get out of here tomorrow, I wouldn't say I gotta get to Italy. You know what I'm saying? I would have said I gotta get to Paris. The one thing I do want to do is go back to Paris with my daughter, but I told her she had to be much older. Because I just think that'd be a fabulous trip. She's like she's so like a lady, as like she would appreciate all that. I wasn't feeling well. You wasn't feeling well today. You said, okay, all right. So, oh, she's telling Bellflower, you look so good, twin. Jeez Louise, look at you. I love that. Yeah, we have those days. You love Hawaii too. Oh, Shay, I'm sorry. Dee Dee, you are a warming light, and people flock to you like moths to a flame. We love that. Oh, thank you. It reminds me of that Janet Jackson song. How about that? Sorry you weren't feeling well. Oh, yeah, they're saying that to my name twin, Shay. Jeez Louise. I don't be friends with them. I don't know how to be fake. I'm too mean. Oh, okay. When did I leave Macy's? Okay, mine must have been in the 90s because I got my master's degree in the 90s. Oh. You know, it's every time I hear the 90s, I think about, I don't know if you guys ever watched Real Housewives with Atlanta, but I know I want to say somebody called Kenya, who is my girl. She's from Detroit too, Kenya Moore. They told her she's a HOE from the 90s. Or I don't know if she said that to somebody, but it tickled me when she said it. I was like, geez Louise, these girls are not playing around. Okay, all right, so let's see. Wait a minute. I got some juice. Thank you. Ooh, 1,000. That sounds like a lot. Oh, cha-ching, cha-ching with the juice. Okay, so you and Bellflower. Let me see. Let me give you guys, um, I'm gonna give you guys a thank jewels. I'm on a jewel hunt. I'm on a hunt for some jewels. And then Bellflower, let me give you a thank you too. We love that. Okay, all right, here we go. I'm just on here just yapping. Geez, so we ooh, Hawaii is wonderful, Dee Dee. Ooh. Is it Kauai? It's my favorite island, but each island it's its own unique. I don't know what else you were saying. Oh yeah. Oh geez. Dee Dee got friends in low places where the whiskey shine. Jeez, Eloise. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, hey, Anissa. Oh, you know what? Guys, Anissa is on Substack now. Did you guys know that? So go check out Anissa on Substack. Anissa, if you can't, I don't know, you're driving, so you can't post it, the name of it. So I'm gonna see if I could get to it and post it. But if you go to her community post, it's up there. I love that. I love that. I love the reading of it all. One of these days, I know when people do book clubs, people don't really like to read anymore. I know that's a thing, but because I'm a teacher, I just love it. People want a shortcut and watch a video because we're so used to it, and it's no judgment. It's nothing against that. But I mean, I don't know if you can see my background. I just love books. I love an actual physical book, and that's just the thrill of that is gone. Uh, mm, let's see. Uh, Confidence is great. Arrogance and ignorance is not. Yes, yeah, very good. And I like, and I want to say, that I'm confident, but I'm not arrogant. I just know my flaws. Like you don't got to point them out. I already know. Um, but yeah, I think having some confidence is good. I think you got to remember too, young ladies are watching you. Even if you don't have kids, you have nieces, nephews, their friends out and about. I just think that it's always good to be there. I don't know. I don't have to talk to that downsize because if I go on their cruise, I'm taking my crew. It's like I don't know if I don't know how that would be for me to be on their cruise. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's their cruise. I feel like when I was like a much smaller content creator, or if I was going by myself with my glasses on and I was kind of just kind of quiet to myself. Is that inconspicuous? Like one of those folks. But now I don't know. I don't want to take over their cruise. Type of situation. And then I thought, not this year, but maybe the following year we could plan it. Not in 2027, because I feel like I have 2027 kind of booked. And my daughter's turning 10, so I got a lot of fabulous stuff I'm thinking about doing, but maybe in 2028. So maybe I'll talk to that downsize and maybe we could do something about that. Are you listening, downsize? Downsizing Diva and the Downsize Cruise. But I would get a crew together. So I think for me, what I want to do is next year, because I told them, I'm a lady of my word. And I told the downsize, I'm going to come on that cruise. And so, if I say I'm going to do something, what you will know about me is I am going to do it. Now, it might take me a while. As I told them this in 2025, maybe 2024. But they were very supportive and over here on my channel and just so nice early on. And I really appreciate that. And so, yeah, I'm going to go on that cruise. I'm going to get me a crew and I'm going to go on that cruise and we're going to take over. And when I say take over, I just mean like with all things fabulous. I don't mean taking over their cruise like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, it's just all things fabulous going on over here. So, and then we got to get the solo cruiser on board. So like let's think 2028 for me. I'm gonna contact them. I'm trying to I need to contact Lorraine anyway. So I'm gonna contact them. Oh, wait a minute. Gia, what did you say about the roaches of it all? Oh no. Oh no. I don't do those. Jeez, Louise, and now that's a way to get me out of here. Mm-mm-mm. Jeez, Louise. Okay, you're talking about the Disney resort. Oh, she knows. Oh, you so you know a lot about that. That's me and this. I'm gonna burn this house down before I do. And I tell my daughter too, because she'll drop some crumbs. She's this and that. She want to go to everybody's house. I said, honey, we can't do that. Um, you said take the. Okay, you got to let me know what's up with this can. Now, somebody told me, because I'll get a spider every now and then. Somebody told me to stop killing spiders, because they kill the other bugs. Somebody told me, and I bought this and didn't use it. This is how few spiders I see. But so somebody told me if you buy ivory soap and you cut the shavings, I need to do that. I really should have did it at the beginning of summer because they don't come around as much over here since when gets colder. But now I know probably if you're in Florida or like a hot kind of weather. And Mel still in here? Mel, is there a way you could go to or Bellflower? If you can't, don't worry about it. But go to Anissa. Can you put the name of your Substack in here? Because I really want to put that up. And that's going to motivate you too to get some stuff on there. You're probably like, why is this girl shouting me out? But yeah, I feel like if you put it up, you're ready and start before you're really ready. Remember, that's the thing I say, start before you are ready. And I think, you got some stuff going, keep that up. We love that for you. Okay, so what are you guys saying? Okay, so this candle, I had to put this up there so I can screenshot this baby. What does this candle do? Who knows about this candle? Let's see. Okay. Uh, you're coming this time. Okay, okay, all right. Okay. So you guys are saying that. We will see. We will see. Yes. I want to go to Italy. I've been to Paris, London, Greece, found. Oh, you was supposed to go in 2020. Yeah, maybe that could be a long-term trip we plan. MVP. Since we're friends now. I love it. I love it. Oh, good. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Let's see. Joe, I mean it. Got my senior to your house to get a stew and kill a spider. Yeah, and you know what? I do that too. I call my dad over here. If I see a bug and my daughter's too afraid to, I call my dad over here to kill it, or any guy friend. Some of my friends are not scared. Like the girlfriends that I have are not scared too. I call them. If it's too big, I'm like, Let's see. Do you have the ability to give membership each month? Um, I don't know. I know now you could go on there and give a membership, and get a membership. I think I have two levels. I need to look at my memberships. I still got member videos I haven't even put out yet. Shame on you, Dee Dee. That's how bad I am. But YouTube has this feature. So, and I was wondering, I thought it was Harjarine doing this, or JC. I thought it was one of them because these different gamers and stuff they have on their channels, and I thought it was them. But really, I thought it was probably the boss lady, and I was getting these people that were gamers, and I was getting a free membership, and I was like, well, the only way I could have seen them is on one of their channels. So I thought, okay, well, then I saw this feature on YouTube where they were saying they're giving out memberships to people. Like YouTube gives out memberships, but it's them doing it. But no, I cannot. Now, I'll never forget. Remember, Joe, we were trying to get you a membership. I remember Kate, my girl, Kate the Great was on here. Mail to the Bee. I think Bellflower was on here. It was a lot of us, and we were trying to get Joe a membership. So they were donating memberships. It was probably like, I want to say 30 people or 40 people got memberships. And guess what? And when you do that, you gift a membership. It's random. There is no rhyme or reason to it, right? So I couldn't just gift you, Gia, a membership. So all those memberships, and Joe still didn't get one. Remember that, Joe? That was so funny. So no, I can't do it. I don't know why YouTube wouldn't let you do that, but I guess it might be good because then it's like, oh, you favored her and gave her a membership, or you favored him maybe people can find out your gifting memberships to some folks, and that wouldn't be a good thing. So I'm thinking that might have been it. Um, oh, you've been to Hawaii twice. Okay, good. Because I don't even think I want to start and go and go. I mean, I meant the little girl being raised too confident that she felt she had no further need to grow. Yeah, and I just think and I don't know. She's one of those kids I haven't really heard about her. I'm sure she's doing phenomenal things with her life, but yeah, she just really used to say she was perfect. She perfect. She had nothing to work on. And my daughter, I also have to make sure my daughter you know, didn't do that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like doesn't do that cuz I'm raising her up to be confident. So there is that. Um uh Substack. Oh, just let me know. I'd love to cruise. Okay. So yeah, maybe like let's plan it for 2028, the cruise of it all. Wherever we decide to go. I've never been on a cruise, so this is like Virgin Didi. Yeah, I've never been on a cruise. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. But for next year, I think I don't want to do a cruise because I don't really have that in my plans to do. I'm kind of like, if I'm doing trips and stuff like that, I'm thinking way ahead of time. Plus, my daughter, I don't just leave my daughter with anybody. I got to make sure the people that are approved to be, watching her are free. Do you know what I'm saying? So that also plays into it. What is Substack? Substack is a platform where you go on the platform and you just basically tell your thoughts, and a lot of it is in written form, but it's other ways you could showcase your ideas and things. And yeah, that's basically what it is in a nutshell. So if you like to read, I would say go to Substack. uh okay, so if it's you're close to Vegas. Okay, very good, very good. Let's see. Ooh, okay. It keeps the spiders away rather than killing them. Interesting. Okay. You say you hope you get it right. You're new to this. I think you will. Again, start where you are. I think you're starting not knowing, and I think that's great. And that's how you learn. I'm telling people who want to know everything and be so good at everything before they start it. I mean, I get that, but I think you starting where you are is the best thing. That's how you stretch your mind. That's how you learn. Um, oh, you have never been on a cruise? Yeah, my life has been vertical. You've just probably been in the horizontal one, but I've for months now. I've had them both ways. I got both going on, vertical and horizontal. But welcome, Kashna. How are you? How are you doing? How is that weight loss going? Okay, so reset with the Nissa. We're 20 with the cruising because I've never been on a cruise. You either, Dr. Tony. You guys have never cruised. Oh my goodness. And then we got Shawnee who loves cruising. I love that. So that's so funny. Think about that being a teacher. We got people who've cruised, we've got people who've never cruised, and we got people who don't want to cruise. Imagine you had to teach to all those differences. And so, and being a teacher, you got kids that are talented, and gifted, which means like at an intellectual level, they're very bright and they think outside the box and they need a challenge. Then you got the kids that are just bright, and there's a lot of kids who are bright who think they're tagged, but they don't qualify. Your IQ has to be a certain score to qualify for that. Then you got your average, right? Which most of us fit into that average learners, right? And there's nothing wrong with being average, but it's you know, that it's just, like you're the norm, right? You're like right in that middle. And then we got the kids who struggle, but then it just takes them a little bit extra to time to get it. And then we just got those kids. And now I say, so some people who say they can't learn, I say I've never met a kid in 32 years that couldn't learn. Now, how they learn and what the rate they learn and how much they can learn, that varies. But the fact that they can't learn at all, I just never met a kid like that. And then you got those kids that need like an intervention or a whole totally way to access the curriculum. So like they couldn't be on here reading the chat. They would need another way to access information from that chat. So you got those kind of folks. So it's so hard to do. And I always tell people, just imagine, your kid has a birthday party and you're entertaining 10, 15 kids, 20 kids. Well, a teacher is not just entertaining, they're actually teaching. And you're being graded on that. Not just like, oh, okay, they had a great day. No, you're being graded on the information they retain. So it's hard being a teacher. So that's why I say these teachers out here, I just respect them because it's a hard job, and I'm so glad I'm retired out of it. I'm not gonna feel retired though until school starts back. So, which is I'll feel retired. Ask me September 1st how I feel, and I'll be able to give you an accurate answer about how I'm feeling about being retired. Okay, so oh, you said you're on. Well, I'm finally on summer break, and we'll be uh reviving up my walking. Okay, so how you're on summer break? How are you just now getting on summer break, and summer's almost over? Listen, teachers here, it's not just teaching, it's classroom management. And this, oh, yeah, let's not even get into the behaviors of it all. And that's one of the things I can hang my hat on. If people argued about, and nobody will, but I'm just saying, if people want to argue and say, oh, you think you're the best teacher, you got this award, that award, this, that, and the other. But I'm telling you, I have good classroom management, and people find that hard to believe. My mom couldn't believe it when I used to tell her. She thought the kids ran over me because I'm so nice. But no, and that's how I have fun. Like in order to have fun, I tell the kids like I got to be strict and on top of it because I want to have fun in here. And if you aren't strict and you're trying to have fun, the kids will run all over you. So that's one of the things. And I never forget, I had this boy, he was a redhead. And I'll never forget him. But I remember his grandmother, his mom wasn't really involved, dad wasn't around, but the grandmother, it's funny, with the first day I met her, it was at an open house and she was fabulous. She was looking like us, over 50, looking good. And by the end of that year, she just looked so tired and so stressed. And I saw her maybe last year or two because he had a younger brother that was still at the school. And she just looked so worn out and so beat up. And one of the things she would tell people is like, oh, if your kid has a behavior issue, you have to put them in Miss Thomas's class because she specializes in behaviors. Well, I don't. I don't have like any kind of special degree or anything. I just have high expectations. And one of the things I said, I'm a lady of my word. So one of the things I tell those kids, if I say, if you do A, B is going to happen, guess what? They did A, B was going to happen. And one of the things we could do, and I'm not a big fan of that, but having kids talk to you about their whatever their struggles are, or do some sort of assignment or makeup work or whatever during their recess. And you would have parents who would say, oh, my kid needs a recess, they need to run around. So I would have them do it for a part, if I ever got that. A lot of parents wanted the consequence, but some of the parents would push back and say, no, my kid needs to run around, they don't need to be sitting in there. And so they still would have to do it for part of the time. Or I would have the parent come up and meet with me, like, let's talk about this. Because I think what you don't realize is, and even for my child too, when your child is cutting up, now they're distracting the teacher. They're taking away from everybody else's learning. And so that's why we just kind of have to get them on board. And, like, we're in this together. I tell the kids, like, this is not just, I already know this stuff. Like, now you got to learn it. And I think being cool too, like a kid loves a nice, cool teacher, unless you're one of those teachers that's like an older teacher that's very like, calming and kind of like reminds them of like a grandmother type, like a Miss Doubtfire type. Kids respond to that because they like that loving kind of situation. But kids these days, I'm telling you, you got to be hip and cool. They relate to that and they feel like you can relate to them. And I'm one of those people. If you're interested in cartoons, guess what? Whatever cartoon you're interested in, and I'm trying to make a connection with you, I'm going to be interested in that cartoon. If you're into sports, I might not ever watch a soccer game, but if I know that kid that's struggling loves soccer, I'm going to watch soccer so I can relate to that kid. And I think that that's kind of like what a lot of teachers who aren't successful don't do as far as with discipline, is they're not building a relationship. Because once you have a relationship with somebody, you want to do well for them, right? You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, I think that's important. So if you have a teacher who's just really not trying to get to know your kid, that kid's probably going to have some struggles with them. And I just think, and it's kind of like my daughter. She loves Hello Kitty. Well, guess what? She didn't love Hello Kitty. She just started loving Hello Kitty. So I'm gonna immerse myself in Hello Kitty because I want to be able to talk to her and relate to her. And I think you have to do that with everybody's kids, not your kid. I always say, like, being a teacher, I think that's the key. Treating kids like they're your own kid, like they're your kid away from home. And I always say, if something goes down in that school, an active, person coming to harm those kids comes in there, that teacher is the first line of defense. So even if you can't stand your child's teacher, think about it as this person can potentially protect my child. And we know things are going down in these schools. And so if you think about it like that, I think you probably have a little bit of a different perspective. I don't know. I mean, who knows? But anyway, I just know I'm living my life like it's golden. Living my life like it's golden. Okay, what are you guys talking about? I see some doses up in here. Okay, all right. So I need to get off here. I need to eat. I have not eaten so far. What time is it? It's 1:05. How long have I been on this live? Since 11. So two. Oh, and not 2 hours yet. Okay, I'm good for a good 2 hours. All right. Anything else for the cause? So we saw some Dee meetup ideas. Maybe I'll put up a post or in my live stream and talk about it because we could start planning that maybe like in December. We thought we had to plan way far out. We really didn't. But I think the challenge of the Dee meetup this year was the soccer tournament. What's that called? The World Cup was going on. So some of the places we wanted to go was already taken up with that World Cup. So yeah, so there's that. I mean, they were told us traffic would be all kind of crazy, all kind of stuff would be going on. So there is that. So, all right. Well, anything else for the cause? My hair is doing great. I have some. You have to come on my Wednesday live. I think we're going to be talking about um hair stuff. We'll talk about hair stuff. We'll talk about food, hair. Food is an important part of that nutrition for your hair. So, oh, okay. So I plan to keep going. Like, look, Shawnee, look at your picture. You look fabulous. I love a good profile pic. Jeez Louise. It's like you got that skin popping. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, so we're going to talk about on Wednesday, watch my latest video about the food noise. I talk about that food noise of it all. And my next Sunday's video is going to be a really good topic we're going to talk about. And some people in the DD community, in the GLP-1 community, have kind of experienced this. So I think it'll be good for them too. So, but yeah, on Wednesday, maybe we'll get into the skin products and how food also is an important part of that nutrition for your hair. Because I say whether you wear wigs, extensions, your natural hair still has to be good under all that stuff for it to hold on to it. You know what I'm saying? You still have to have good hair up under that. All right, so let's leave with my girl Joe. Bye, Bellflower, and Mel is saying thank you for joining. It's been lovely seeing you, Dee and the fabulous Divalicious fam. All right, Joe, we got to be in touch. Bye, everybody. Have a great rest of your week. It's Monday. I'll see you on Wednesday, 8:30. Bye.